Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from the Northwell Health Ice Center, getting set for a matchup between the Farmingdale State College Rams and the Sacred Heart University Pioneers. I want to thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. Travis Quigley here on the call, Sam Musnick, our producer tonight, and the great Frank Botetto running the camera for us here this evening. Rams wearing their alternate black uniforms, and in the cage for Farmingdale tonight is Andrew Barron, looking to keep the perfect 0 in his record. He's had a great start to the campaign so far, as have the Rams, as they're on a 4-game winning streak right now coming into this one. 3-game sweep on the road last weekend over St. Anselm St. Anselm Keene Quinnipiac. They split with Rutgers the weekend prior, opened the season with a win over Marist, and picked up a very dominant win over Montclair State University last night. 12-3 was the final score. Rams getting goals all over the board. Chris Keller with a phenomenal game, had 5 points. Jace Lombardo was our player of the game last night. He had a couple of points as well, was a big-time difference maker, especially on special teams. Was phenomenal on the penalty kill out there with John Crodell. Those two really made a difference, especially when the Rams were on the PK. And the Rams are going to look to follow that up tonight against a Pioneer squad that they're facing for the first time this season. And for Sacred Heart, not the start to the campaign that they've been looking for. 0-3 to get things going here in 25-26. And they're looking to change that, making the trip to East Meadow here tonight. Pioneer's going to be wearing their gray uniforms with that Pioneer logo right in the middle. Beautiful uniforms for Sacred Heart. About a minute 15 left in warm-ups here. Farmingdale and Sacred Heart will head off after this, and they will get a nice ice cut, clean sheet. We'll come back out for the national anthem and, of course, the opening face-off. Super excited to be here for this matchup between the Rams and the Pioneers. We see Joe Minio coming off right now for warm-ups. And this should be a fun game. Two teams that battled in the Empire Conference for years now in the ACHA M2 respectively, and both looking to make a difference in an early Northeast Conference matchup. Northeast Region matchup. Rams looking to stay hot, 6-1 on the season and on a 5-game winning streak, looking to make it 6. So buzzer sounds, warm-ups have concluded. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll return in about 15 minutes, like I said, with a clean sheet of ice, the national anthem, and the opening face-off between the Pioneers and the Rams. Travis Quigley with Sam Musnick and Frank Botetto live here on the LI Sports Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are live on the LI Sports Network, getting ready for the second Rams home game of the weekend. Farmingdale State College set to square off with the Sacred Heart University Pioneers. And the Rams, as you see on your screen now, entering home ice, wearing their alternate black uniforms, raring to go following a 12-3 victory over Montclair State last night, and hoping to follow it up once again here this evening at Northwell Health Ice Center. Travis Quigley here on the call, Sam Musnick, our producer this evening, and the great Frank Potato is on the camera. Sacred Heart wearing their gray uniforms, red shoulders, white and red stripes on the sleeves. As mentioned, Farmingdale in the alternate blacks with green stripes on the sleeves. Andrew Barron in the net for Farmingdale. In the cage for Sacred Heart will be Matthew Dworkowitz. We'll turn it over right now to PA for the playing of the national anthem. Anthem's been played. Both sides strapping on the buckets, and we are just about ready to go. Once again, here from the Northwell Health Ice Center. Rams sending out the line of Keller, Ivers, and Quigley, with Alessi and Kravitz on the blue line to start tonight's matchup. This line was on fire last night, as mentioned during warmups. Chris Keller had a phenomenal performance, 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. He was on fire, and he'll look to continue it tonight. This line squaring off. Keller will line up with Alex Walsh of the Pioneers. Walsh, Moliterno, and Gandolfo, the forward line, starting for Sacred Heart, has chipped in, and Joe Quigley first to touch. Tries to center a pass to Ivers, doesn't get to him right away. Now Ivers settles behind the net. Great pass to the point for Frank Alessi. Off the shoulder, hits the top of the net. Quigley bats it back over. It's gloved down, played with a hand, and we get our first whistle. No change for the Pioneers. Starting on the back end for Sacred Heart tonight, McGuire Goggin and number 24, Dylan Stiles. Matthew Dworkowitz, the Pioneers, starting Tendy, just fixing the mask up as he took that initial shot from Alessi up high. Andrew Barron on the other side, just keeping the feet moving. Shot initially there from Keller off the boards. Quigley down to Ivers, bounces over his stick. Ivers trying to cycle, it's broken up by Walsh, played up the boards. Ivers knocks it down. Low to Quigley, now to the point. Jacob Kravitz, shot gets blocked. Alessi thought about pinching, wasn't going to get there in time. It's sent all the way down by the captain, Moliterno, and icing is called. Farmingdale will make a wholesale line change. Just 42 seconds into the game, getting some fresh legs out against a tired Pioneers unit. Can the Rams take advantage? Pioneers will win the faceoff, played up the boards, and now Sacred Heart gonna have a chance here with numbers. Chipped in deep, and Moliterno gonna go get it, pinned up against the wall by Leach Wilson. Had a solid game last night. Shot on goal, kicked away by Barron. First touch of the puck tonight for the sophomore netminder. Pinching in, holding the zone, Jacob Desmarais. Some space for Leach Wilson to operate. Puts it up the same side boards to Bridgewood, who gains the red line and chips the puck in. Pass to Minio. Minio looking out front, redirected away. Skating out of the zone with a little bit of speed. O'Toole, a drop pass, dragging, taking a shot. Breadbasket save for Barron on Robert's son. Rams win the faceoff. DDD to Smith. Smith can't clear. It's stolen away by Venturi. Dished up top to the point. Shot gets blocked. Bounces right over the twig of Sun. Comes out of the zone. Pioneers will look to reset. O'Toole looks to put it into the zone. Smith steps up, plays the body. Crodell on the backhand, and it's chopped out of the zone. Fire down the sheet, bouncing around, and Barron will quickly cover. Back to the point for the Pioneers. Shot broken up by Crodell. Headmans it to Tim Duffy. Duffy drags, carries wide, takes it around the net, avoids a check, and will move it to the point for Kravitz. Now to Frank Alessi. Takes a shot, deflected. Loose in the skate, scooped by Walsh, and fires it hard all the way around the wall. Battle in the corner for it. It pops free. Chance there. Barron with the stop. Scobaro, great chance. Flipped down the ice by Kravitz. Farmingdale will look to make a change. Icing does get waived. Worked out there for Farmingdale. Rams trying to break out once more. Pioneers trying to get to work offensively. Pass up top to the point. Desmarais into the corner. 2-on-2 battle behind the net of Andrew Barron. Worked up top, just held in at the line. It'll come back around the same side boards. Devine trying to go out through the middle. It's broken up and cycled deep once again. Phenomenal shift here from Sacred Heart in the early going. 3:45 played. Opening period. Up the wall to Devine once again. Settles down, had plenty of time. Rodriguez got a piece of it. And right back into the zone. Del Nickus takes a big hit from Devin Quinones. Keeps the puck. Leach Wilson now into space for Devine. Off the wall, collects. Looking for a self-chip again. Trouble getting it out for the Rams here. This one sent all the way down. Goes beyond the stick of Wallace. Plenty of time to set up behind the net. Pioneers break out, backhanded in. Rams again can't clear their zone. That shot gets blocked. Now a chance to skate it out, and Ivers with a lot of speed will be one-on-one. Thomas Ivers and a great stick check by Wallace, the captain. Backhanded over to Thomas Smith, and he hacks one into the zone, kicked out by Dworkowitz. Drop pass, foiled, knocked out of the air. Barron just gonna dive on it and take the whistle. Chance here, right out in front. Sun walks around Barron, takes it behind the net. Was unable to get a good shot on. Rams have 3, Pioneers have 2 in the corner. Sun walks out with the puck, another save from Barron. Takes a big kick off the glass, and now Alessi looks to skate it out. He'll hit Bridgewood off the skates. Bridgewood splits through a couple. What a pass! Minio with the shot, it's stopped. Numbers here for Sacred Heart. Saucer pass through, off the skates, backhand try, won't go. Styles didn't get it. Now Sun. Pass back door, kicked away by Barron. Slap shot from the point goes well wide. Back out top, high slot, Dylan Bridgewood there to knock it over to Minio, who's gonna gain the red line, fire it in, and go off for a line change. All 5 off for Farmingdale. Lombardo. A lot of pressure on the forecheck. Cycles to Crodell. Crodell pinned against the wall by Desmarais. Becomes a 2-on-2 battle, and Sacred Heart will be able to flip it out. Quinones stops it at the red. His dump-in's gloved down. Desmarais' pass broken up, but all over it. O'Toole to win it back for Sacred Heart. Into the offensive zone, taken away. Phenomenal job by Lombardo. Now Duffy with it. Tries a toe drag and loses the puck in behind the net. Duffy will play the body on Matt Cox. And Duffy again throwing the body. Escobar steals possession. Hits Crodell. Skates a stick. Point for Leach Wilson. He shoots. He scores! Lombardo on a redirection out in front. And Farmingdale take the 1-0 lead. 13:02 to go in period 1. We'll take a look at the replay here. Lombardo out in front. All starts with Duffy on the forecheck. Dish to Crodell. Crodell up top to the point. And a beautiful wrist shot from Leach Wilson. And 1-0 the score. We'll see what it goes in the book as. Looked like Lombardo celebrated as if he got a piece. It's either Lombardo or Leach Wilson. Nonetheless, 1-0 for Farmingdale here in period 1, 7 minutes played. Racing back down to Carlo. He shoots, and it's stopped up by Andrew Barron once again. Smith, cross-ice pass to Ivers. Off the wall, looks to poke it in, and it's immediately cleared for Sacred Heart. Back in, Sabara gets it onto the forehand. Nice wrist shot there, but again, turned aside by Andrew Barron. Ivers on the stick check, almost took it away there. DeCarlo was able to hold the line. Back with Ivers, who puts it behind the net. Return to him from Smith, and he's got some space to skate. High backhand, and Quigley will get there first. Joe Quigley takes it around the cage. Off the bench, Del Grosso receives the pass. Couldn't split through a couple of Pioneers defenders. Quigley's back to scoop and reverses to Kravitz, who has plenty of time and space for the breakout pass. Hit Del Grosso in the skate, and back in comes Sacred Heart. Kravitz says no, steps up at the blue line. Huber carries into the zone and will rim it around to the weak side for Frank Alessi. Alessi out front for Del Grosso. Del Grosso trying to turn and shoot and is stuffed up immediately by McGuire Goggin. Del Grosso there holds the line and puts it deep to the corner. 11:30 to go in the opening period. 1-0 for Farmingdale State. All the way down, icing called. One back to the point. Minio gets it, goes through the seam for O'Donnell. His try's blocked. Gets it right back, fighting for it. Minio and O'Donnell keep it in the zone. Minio's pass over to Quinones. He opens up the hips, takes a wrist shot that's sticked away by Dworkowitz. O'Donnell right there to settle the bouncing puck. Minio to Leach Wilson, across for Quinones. Waits, now finds a lane, hits O'Donnell. Puts it down low. Barron heading off on a delayed penalty. Back up top for Quinones. Devin Quinones. Hard around the wall to O'Donnell. Leaves it into space for Bridgewood. Dylan Bridgewood trying to use the size. Low to Minio. Minio looking high slot for Duffy. Touched up for the whistle. And Farmingdale will get the first power play of tonight's contest. Already with a 1-0 lead. And they'll send the unit out of Keller, Ivers, Alessi, Quigley, and Dylan Bridgewood will stay out there. Sacred Heart looking a penalty kill here with Demare, Moliterno. Walsh will take the face-off, and then lining up on the boards, the other defenseman, Matt Cox. Keller and Walsh. Left of Dworkowitz, Keller wins it to Bridgewood. Back for Alessi. Alessi just fans on it, and it's knocked out of the zone. Great job by Moliterno off the draw. Quigley swoops back with the puck, and we'll just take it all the way for Ivers, who drops it back to Quigley, and the breakout starts. To Bridgewood. Drop back for Quigley. And he puts it off the wall to Alessi. Thought Alessi was more parallel with him. Instead, he was back for that hinge pass. And Farmingdale will have to break out once again. Ivers up for Quigley, poked ahead, and now it's right back with Quigley, who enters the zone, trying to set things up. Hits Duffy. Duffy, touch pass over to Keller. Keller splits through a couple and is forced to the corner. Moves it up for Ivers. Ivers to Duffy. Cycled deep. Keller gets a poke at it. Cox trying to clear. Bouncing puck, couldn't settle. Ivers and Quigley on the wall. Sent up to the bumper spot and fired all the way down by Alex Walsh. Farmingdale going to change and get the rest of that unit out there with Duffy. Crodell and Lombardo first on, and now O'Donnell will join them. Alessi skates it, hits Crodell. Crodell up top, Lombardo shoots, stopped up, covered up. out front, up top. Chipped in with just 20 seconds left on the power play. Chance in front, they score! James O'Toole with the shorthanded marker ties it at 1 with 8:56 to go in the first. It all starts that great flip in from neutral ice, and the Pioneers just all on the attack despite being shorthanded. Body in the corner, a stick lift, and a quick pass for O'Toole. Barron tried to push out and take away the angle, but O'Toole able to beat him, and it's 1-1. Farmingdale's opening goal was Lombardo from Leach Wilson and Crodell. We'll see what the official number is for Sacred Heart here on the goal, which is 2 seconds left on the power play. Dumped in and gloved by Dworkowitz. He holds. Pioneers win it, and it's cleared out as we're 5 aside once again. Nice takeaway from Rodriguez, and he wheels into the zone. Tries a drop pass, and it's immediately stolen. And Sacred Heart again will take the puck out. Look out front there from Dane Sabara. Nothing doing. High flip from Smith, just gloved down by O'Toole. Pardon me, that was Matt Cox. Offside was called. Delayed offside. They tag, and Pioneers try to get back on the forecheck as Quinones looks to skate to the red and chips it in. Cycle deep in behind the cage. Quinones, nice job playing the body despite losing the stick. But Farmingdale can't clear as Leach Wilson was looking to go long to Ivers. Quickly off the glass, gloved down by Goggin. Goggin shoots, it's blocked by Leach Wilson. 7.5 to go in the first, 1-1 hockey game. That's off the glass to Ivers, and he does a great job avoiding the check and races into the zone. Coming back was Stiles, and a beautiful stick check there. Walking out of the corner, it's Ivers. Up top for Keller, swiped away. Leach Wilson, D to Kravitz. Kravitz will shoot, glove save. Ivers drags, takes it in behind. Saucer pass up front, but nobody home to receive that pass. Backhander cleared all the way down. Leach Wilson will collect it just before the goal line, so no icing. Dumped back in deep by Tarashansky. Farmingdale try to clear quickly, and it's broken up immediately. Moliterno stops up, trying to walk to the middle, and his chance is blocked. Dylan Bridgewood out, has numbers, 3-on-2. Bridgewood tries a pass to Minio, comes off the pad. O'Donnell there, pokes it just wide. Alessi racing over to the boards to keep it in. He does. Frank Alessi puts it off the back wall, didn't get the kick he was hoping for. He's going to pinch hard again, keeps it in once more, and it goes out of play. Pioneers win the faceoff. Pass over to O'Toole, the goal scorer. All over it, John Crodell. Battling with Jackson Cantalupo. Poked back deep, and it's Duffy. Knocked away, and it comes to Cantalupo once again. Cantalupo's pass broken up. Nick Drogan. Bit of a homecoming for Nick Drogan. Won the Long Island High School Hockey Championship in this rink back in April with his high school squad, the Belmore Merrick Bulldogs. Crodell over the line, 2-on-2. Gets some space to shoot. He does. Breadbasket save for Dworkowicz. It's a homecoming for Drogan's linemate as well, Jackson Cantalupo. Played for the Smithtown Hotbog Bulls in the Suffolk County Hockey League last season. Drogan in the New York Islanders League for Nassau County, respectively. Played for the Sacred Heart Pioneers this season. A couple of Long Island natives. One back to the point for the Rams. It's Hopkins. His shot stopped by Huber, who's turned and fired, and that went off a shin pad. 5 minutes to go in the opening frame, and it was Sabara who ran into his own player, Del Grasso. Gets the red and chips it deep. Matt Goggin. Nice reversal. And breakout broken up by Timmy Devine. And Del Grasso takes a check as Sacred Heart steal it, and Stiles fires a wrist shot. That rims hard around the boards and skips out of the zone. And Joey Huber scoops it. Has Del Grasso driving. Looks to hit him on the pass just over the tape. Del Grasso got a piece, but couldn't bat it home. Huber trying to split through a couple. He's knocked to the ice. Off the glass, Leach Wilson leaping up, gloving it down. Another high flip. Sacred Heart will clear this time around. Quick pass to Del Grasso, who dumps it in and was trying to defend himself on a check. Broke his stick in the process as Wallace came over and played the body on him. D to Leach Wilson. Up the wall for Keller. Keller's over the line, has Ivers trailing. Quigley on the cross side. Quigley receives it backhand to forehand. Chance blocked. He was going right back across to Keller, who was driving the back post. Ivers behind the net. Settles down, looking to Keller, and broken up, kicked away by Max Brown. Leach Wilson dumps it in deep. Off the wall, jumps the stick of Del Nickus, but right there to scoop it up. Gandolfo, he shoots wide all the way around and broken out for Quigley. Quigley drives through and immediately got tied up, lost the puck, but was able to drive it to the corner. Touched across to Ivers. Ivers delays, dropping it back to Alessi, but it comes out of the zone. He's just forced to put it up off the glass and back in as Farmingdale tag up. Through the middle of the wall, stolen. And Ivers drops it for Quigley, but he lost it. And Pioneers looking to go ahead once more. Ivers on a touch pass through the middle. Again, taken away. Drop pass. Shot through. Barron with the save. 1-1, 2:56 to go, first period. That try goes over the net. Blast from Moliterno. Minio looks to chip it in. Takes a check. He was able to fend it off. Nice job there. All over it, Dylan Bridgewood. Using the size as he always does. Battling in the corner. Minio there helping the Pioneers dig it out. Minio wins it back. Hits Bridgewood off the outside of the net. Goes to Alessi. D for Kravitz. Kravitz shot blocked. There's a delayed penalty. Kravitz eats a check as the Pioneers touch up, and the Rams will go back on the power play. Cross-checking call on Desmarais. And with 2:21 left in the first period, Farmingdale go back on the man advantage. Keller, Bridgewood, Ivers, Alessi, Quigley on the ice. It's one to the wall by the Pioneers, kept in by Alessi. Over to Ivers, jumps his stick, but scoops it back off the boards. Immediately feeling pressure from Stiles and taken away by Nick Drogan. Drogan over the line, opens the hips, shoots far pad. They score! O'Toole with his second shorthanded goal of the period, and Sacred Heart have a 2-1 lead. Again, broken up, taken away from Ivers. And it's Drogan racing down, opens up the hips, and takes a good shot, low far pad with O'Toole crashing. And he taps it in to make it 2-1. Both of O'Toole's goals coming shorthanded. Farmingdale trying to get the power play going here tonight. It's O'Donnell who rolls the circle, drops it back to Lombardo. Over to Kravitz. Gets to center point, left flank to O'Donnell. Back for Kravitz. Right side, Lombardo to the net, deflected, goes in behind off Duffy's twig. Drogan on the backhand over the glass, out of play. Both of O'Toole's goals assisted by Nick Drogan, both of them shorthanded. Rams win the draw, back to Duffy at the point, and knifed away from Duffy by Drogan. Gives it to O'Toole. O'Toole over the line, drags and shoots, save for Andrew Barron. O'Toole looking for the natural hat trick here in the first period. Rams gonna make another line change here. 2-1 hockey game. Nick Drogan getting a lot of taps on the bucket as he goes back to the bench for Sacred Heart. O'Sullivan lined up with Quigley for the faceoff, and Joe Quigley won it. 55 seconds left on the power play for the Rams. Ivers leads the breakout. Dishes to Bridgewood. Bridgewood trying to dish it back and couldn't. In a battle with Gandolfo, who stole the puck away. Now Bridgewood across to Keller. Keller for Ivers. Sacred Heart definitely aggressive on their penalty kill. Not afraid to attack the puck as Ivers out of the corner. Trying to go to the back door. It's blocked. In a battle with Gandolfo. Now cycles it deep. Quigley will collect the puck. Leaves it for Keller. Keller walking out of the corner. Paddled away by Dworkowicz. And sent 200 feet. 40 seconds remaining in the first. Alessi leaves it for Ivers. And Ivers going to go for a rush. Over to Quigley, Joe Quigley. Back off the boards for Ivers. Puts it low to Quigley. To Ivers. One-timer off the outside of the net. Return to Quigley, 5-on-5 hockey. Goes to the point, 15 remaining. Smith for Alessi. Alessi shot. Hits Ivers. He bats it down. Quigley in the corner. Looking to go to Smith. Smith just keeps it in. 5 seconds to go, sent all the way down. Alessi stops it up. He's going to gain the red, take one last shot, and time's going to expire here in period number 1. Two-1 hockey game. Sacred Heart up over Farmingdale as we head to intermission here on the LI Sports Network. We'll run you through the highlights of the first period before we get to our first intermission interview with Michaela Kochi. So a real early chance here for the Rams. You see Ivers looking out front to the point, and it's Frank Alessi who collects, takes a shot pops off Dworkowitz up high over the net. Quigley was able to bat it back over, but Sacred Heart shut the chance down immediately. We got to look here. Alessi sends one forward to Bridgewood, and Bridgewood showing an incredible display of strength and skill here. One hand on it, forehand, across to Minio, who got stopped up by Dworkowitz. Pass out front to the slot. And you see, worked back up top to the point. Blistering try from Leach Wilson was deflected in by Jace Lombardo. And then you see here the first shorthanded goal for Sacred Heart. Drogan gets all in on the forecheck, comes together with Duffy, and then a stick lift hooks a pass over to O'Toole, and O'Toole beats Barron to tie the game up at 1. See a great battle out here in the corner, in which Minio hits Bridgewood and just off the outside of the net with it, as it was very close to giving the Rams the lead. Rams went back on the power play, and once again it was Drogan making stuff happen. Takes the puck away in his own zone, races down the ice, opens up the hips, avoids that stick check, and takes a nice shot, low far pad. That O'Toole was right there driving the lane, and he was able to bury it home. Made it a 2-1 hockey game with 2 shorthanded goals, both by O'Toole. And looks like we're ready to go for our first intermission interview. So now we are going to turn it over to Michaela Kochi, standing by with Aaron Leach Wilson. Big thanks to Michaela Kochi and Aaron standing by to do that interview for us. 2-1 hockey game, Sacred Heart in the lead over Farmingdale State College. Zamboni on the ice now, completing its laps. So we'll take about a 10-minute break here, and we'll return with the second period of action between the Pioneers and the Rams. getting ready to return for the second period of action here at the Northwell Health Ice Center. Travis Quigley on the call, Sam Musnick, our producer, Frank Bettetto, our cameraman here this evening. Farmingdale State Rams, Sacred Heart University Pioneers. It's Sacred Heart with a 2-1 lead on the road, and both goals coming short-handed off the stick of James O'Toole. Nick Drogan picking up the apples on both of those goals. Those two have combined to be lethal forces on the Pioneers' penalty kill in that first period, and are the primary reason why it's a 2-1 hockey game here as we get ready to start period 2. The two sides will switch ends of the ice, and Farmingdale will look to have a stronger middle period and more consistent middle period than the output they had in the first. There were long stretches where the Pioneers were taking it to them in the offensive zone, really applying some pressure, and as mentioned, they have not been able to get anything really going on the power play at all tonight. The Sacred Heart penalty kill, uber aggressive, and has really been a key factor. Not to mention Matt Dworkowitz in the cage for Sacred Heart has been very good. Andrew Barron on the other side for Farmingdale has made the stops he's had to make, but again, those two shorthanded goals snuck just past him from O'Toole. Rams hoping they didn't score all their goals for the weekend last night in the 12-3 dominant win over Montclair State University. "20 minutes of hockey down, 40 to go, and just letting the ice sit for a little bit here as it's still pretty wet. Give it some time to just dry a little bit more. See even some of the players skating around, just trying to dig in a little bit. Official now blows the whistle, and we're ready to go. Both teams going to send out same starters from the opening puck drop. And both sides looking to get some momentum and get rowdy early here in this second period as they're both up banging on the wall. Trying to snag the energy in this one. And going forward immediately, it's Gandolfo trying to get past Alessi, who plays the body on him, takes the puck away. But you see ice still pretty wet as he just lost it, overskated it momentarily. Quigley tied up in a battle, and now Keller swooping through the neutral zone, takes the biscuit. His shot gets blocked. Cycled down low, it's going to come all the way around. Ivers racing after it. Takes away Cox's clearing attempt. Point for Kravitz. Kravitz shoots through traffic. Rebound there, and cleared away out of danger. Kravitz has to hustle back. Tons of pressure being applied. He'll put it off the back wall to Alessi, and Alessi snaps one long to Keller. Comes off the left skate, and he'll backhand it in deep. Takes a big check against the wall, but taking the brunt of it was Moliterno, the guy who threw the check. Quigley all over it, knocks it down. Ivers takes it away, drops it to Keller, and it's poked out deep. Delayed penalty coming on Sacred Heart once again as they touch up, as Moliterno's going to the box for that hit on Thomas Ivers. Interference being called. Came after, a little after Ivers let go of the puck, deemed our official. So interference, the reason for the penalty, and Farmingdale hasn't been able to get the power play going yet tonight. I said it right as we opened this period. Just a minute into the second, they get another chance at it. O'Donnell's going to throw it low, skips over Duffy's twig. Crodell racing after it, trying to poke it back to the corner. He does. Looking to go weak side. Drogan meets it there. He clears. Barron out of the net. Thought about leaving it, but again, a lot of pressure. Dished ahead. Crodell couldn't get a piece of the puck, but was able to come together with Goggins, in which Goggins lost his twig. Drogan takes it away, puts it out front for O'Toole, who was looking for his hat-trick goal. But he couldn't handle the pass. And Drogan and O'Donnell barking at each other. Drogan feeling real confident, the freshman. As I mentioned in the first, this is essentially his home rink. Do want to apologize for the audio issue we had in the first intermission with our interview. We should have that fixed and should be able to provide some better quality for the second intermission interview that we do have. As Bridgewood starts the breakout again on the power play. Pass is broken up. Ivers right there, though, takes it back 3-on-2 into the zone. Hooks it over to Keller. Keller keeps it low with Ivers now. Sent up the boards. Keller trying to go across, nobody there. Kravitz tries to regroup quickly. Moves it to Ivers. Ivers across the blue for Keller on the late entry for Bridgewood. Trying to go up top. It's batted down. Across to Ivers. Ivers driving wide. Goal line to Bridgewood. Touch to the bumper for Quigley. Couldn't get the stick free. And it's backhanded 200 feet by McLaughlin. .20 seconds left on the power play, and Leach Wilson will skate it. Gains the line, continues driving wide. Looks out front. Pass was blocked. Had Del Grosso there with the stick down ready. Ivers to the point for Quinones. Has to go back down the boards. Ivers digs it out of the skates. Del Grosso there to help. Moves it for Ivers. Back for Del Grosso. Shot stopped up. Great chance there. Right as we go back to 5-on-5. 3 for 3 on the penalty kill are the Sacred Heart Pioneers. And they've really done a great job tonight of just not even allowing Farmingdale to set up in the offensive zone. Wrapped around, Del Grosso races over, keeps it in. Nice job, good hustle. Now trying to open up, it gets a shot off, stick save made. Rodriguez across, big hit thrown. Pass over to Del Grosso. Rolling puck, can't settle it, so Quinones will hinge it back to Leach Wilson. Great feed to Del Grosso, who enters the zone. Just lost it. Quinones diving in, but it was chipped out. Leach Wilson goes long. It went on net, so no icing. Dworkowitz leaves it out. Played off the glass long by Stiles. Icing gets waved off as it skips over the stick of Quinones. Devin Quinones now with the puck on the reversal. Has to just put it off the boards. A lot of pressure on him. Bouncing puck around. Barron able to stop it after it kicked off of Leach Wilson. Definitely not something you see too often. Exactly 4 minutes played here in the second period. 2-1 Sacred Heart in front thanks to 2 goals from James O'Toole, both shorthanded. Rams get it out, but Pioneers win a battle in the neutral zone, take it back until Thomas Smith jumps up to the red and flips it in deep. Sacred Heart clear. That one definitely should have the juice to be an icing, and it will be. 15-40. One back to Duffy. Can't get a shot off. Trying to get it right back. Low to Crodell. Touchback for Duffy. One-time try. And it's gloved by Dworkowitz. Take another look at this one here right off the draw. Good battle from Duffy there in the high slot. Was able to pass it low to Crodell and a quick 1-2. And one-time try stopped up by Dworkowitz. Face-off comes outside. One back to Hopkins. Puts it right into the zone. Desmarais up the wall, kicked in by Lombardo. Crodell turns and shoots. Stopped up Dworkowitz. First gave the look to Duffy and then turned and fired. Good try there from Crodell. Driving wide on Smith is O'Toole. It's forced to the corner. Drogan off the wall to the point. That shot missed the net. Kept in Desmarais. Canalupo off the wall up top. Another try. Pad stop for Barron. Smith clears, goes into the penalty box. Took a deflection, so the Rams are going to be able to make a line change. And it'll be all 5 here for Farmingdale. Sacred Heart also going to take a line change with the offensive zone draw. Face off one back by DiCarlo. That chance blocked from the point. Farmingdale can't clear. Skate to stick, backhanded into the corner. Now it's DiCarlo after receiving the pass from Sabara. Minio off the half boards. Ahead to Alessi. Frank Alessi, the sophomore D-man, looking to the middle. Comes across. O'Donnell's shot stopped. Out of the corner comes Bridgewood. And it's poked away. Wheeling up the boards is O'Sullivan and stopped up by Bridgewood on the back check. Cross ice pass, punched out on the shot. Walking off the board, Stiles knifed away. Bridgewood jabs it ahead to Minio. Minio drops it back for Bridgewood. Bridgewood tucking the shoulder, trying to take it to the net. Minio battling now, joining the fray. Plays the body on DiCarlo. High flip as the Pioneers look to clear. Goes all the way down. Barron steers it out for Leach Wilson, who's going to look to go Quigley. Long pass, hits Quigley off the bench. Quigley has some numbers. Quigley across to Ivers. He shoots. Stopped up Dworkowitz. Big time save made. Leach Wilson trying to settle a bouncing puck. A lot of pressure from Delnickas. Reversal to Quinones. Now he's got some time. Quinones cuts back, hits Quigley on the pass. Quigley for Ivers. Ivers got a piece of it out of the net to Dworkowitz. No icing. Played back for Delnickas, and he puts it into the Farmingdale Rams bench. 13:08 here in period 1, 2-1 hockey game between Farmingdale and Sacred Heart. All 3 goals came back in period 1. Ivers to take the face off. And he goes forward with it to Keller in front. Backhand try. Bats it out of the air. Immediately going to be called no goal on a high stick. Those two combined for almost an identical goal last night. Ivers walking forward on the draw and Keller tucking it home. You see there, Ivers comes forward. Keller on the backhand, got the shot as it popped in the air. Knocked it down, but was above the shoulder. So no goal on the ice. Pioneers win it back, but goes past Cox, and Ivers gets on it with Quigley joining the play. Those two continue to battle, and it's Joe Quigley now. for Thomas Ivers. Goes to the point for Hopkins, who pinches, can't keep it in. Great job by Matt Gandolfo coming over to get the zone for the Pioneers. It's Gandolfo who will now backhand it deep, and Hopkins is first to it. Eats a check right in front of the jet blue sign. Two on two. Keller and Gandolfo, Hopkins. And now we got some pushing and shoving here between, looks like Keller and Gandolfo as they're wrapped up. No, pardon me, that was Hopkins and Gandolfo. I think Keller was just tied up between the two. I don't think he had anything to do with what was going on there. It was more Hopkins and Gandolfo. And it looks to me as both of those guys are going to be getting the gate, headed to the box. We'll likely be getting some 4-on-4 here. Well, pardon me, looks like just Hopkins is going to be getting a penalty. It initially looked as both guys were being escorted to the penalty box, but it's just going to be Hopkins sitting down for two. See what the official call is. Sacred Heart will get their first power play, and Hopkins got two for a face mask. So again, first power play chance of the game for the Pioneers. Comes around the wall to Alessi, can't clear the zone. Now back to the point for Cox. Eats a check from Crodell. Crodell flips it up and now chops it out of the zone. And John Crodell racing after the rolling puck. Collects it in the corner, looking for Lombardo in the slot. Lombardo scores! Jace Lombardo, shorthanded goal. We are tied at 2. I talked about it during warm-ups. This duo right here specifically on the penalty kill, Crodell and Jace Lombardo, they're difference makers, and you see why right here. Crodell battling in his own zone, takes it away, foot race for the loose puck, settles it down, and hits Lombardo right in the wheelhouse, who makes no mistake. Jace Lombardo with 2 goals here tonight, and we're tied at 2. Pioneers power play continues, and it's Stiles who gains the red, dumps it in. Drogan first on it, skipped past him, and now it's pushed out again by Crodell. Has Lombardo driving the cage, offside, gonna be called on the Rams. They'll make a line change, get some fresh legs out there, but that unit going to the bench and getting a lot of high fives, a lot of pats on the helmet as they tied the game up 2-2. Lombardo on the shorty. Second of the night for Jace Lombardo. Drogan takes the puck and drops it back. Breakout begins here for Sacred Heart. Del Grasso getting back on O'Toole, ties him up. O'Toole hits Drogan, his shot blocked, pops right onto the tape, and now O'Toole settles it down behind the net. Unable to do so in front of the cage. Spinning clearing attempt off the skates of Stiles, held in, nice head fake, and the shot's blocked by Rodriguez. And now Del Grasso steaming down the zone. Stiles, nice job racing back and swiped it away from Del Grasso, who was trying to break away. Desmarais starts behind the cage and hits O'Toole. Drop back to Desmarais. Into the zone, Quinones fires it around the boards. Punched out by Barron. Big punch, almost went out of play. Saucer pass across the blue. Pass gets blocked by Bridgewood. Cox is there 5 seconds before Hopkins returns. Bridgewood lost the stick. Drogan trying to get a lane. Bridgewood defending. Goes to center point. Off to the right-hand side. That one knocked down by Drogan. He shoots. Split save. Andrew Barron. It's worked up top to the point. A D-to-D pass and a quick shot right as the power play came to an end, and it ended up hitting Drogan in front. But Barron quickly across. In the splits, makes the save. .10-22. One back to the point, and Wallace's shot well off target. Cleared out by the Rams. It'll be a foot race down for the puck that Wallace will get there as Minio gets on him. Reversal to McLaughlin. Hopkins going through the middle, nobody there on the pass. Smith hammers it right out. Icing going to be called on Farmingdale. We just get past the halfway point of the game. 9:53 to play in period 2, and we are tied at 2. 4 goals in this game, and 3 of them coming shorthanded. Both of the Pioneers' goals coming a man down, and the most recent Farmingdale goal from Jace Lombardo also coming shorthanded. Lombardo certainly been on fire here this weekend. Bridgewood wins it back to Hopkins, and he'll backhand it around. Smith trying to get there. His pass broken up by Sabara, who shovels it at the net, and Barron gloves it. Alessi and Kravitz jumping on the sheet now. Bridgewood kicks another face-off win back on Alessi. On the weak side to Kravitz. Goes off the boards, kept in by Stiles. Now the Pioneers have numbers on the rezone entry. Comes all the way across point. Back to Stiles. He snaps one that Barron will hold very handily. Draw one by Chris Keller. Kravitz going to be forced to reverse to Alessi, and Alessi hits Quigley with a pass. He's trying to move it to Ivers, but was beyond his reach. Puck's dumped in by O'Sullivan. Alessi and Sabara racing after it. They come together right behind Barron. Alessi to Kravitz, has a little bit of space to work with, and hits Quigley with a little bit of speed breaking out of the zone. Quigley for Keller on the backhand. Keller to Ivers, redirected. He scores! Great passing from the Rams, and it's 3-2 thanks to the goal from Thomas Ivers. All starts in the D zone. Alessi to Kravitz, Kravitz to Quigley, streaking out of the zone into neutral ice. He gains the blue, hits Keller through the middle, Ivers driving to the net, a quick touch pass, and Ivers redirects it off the backhand over the blocker, and Farmingdale get the lead back. Pioneers with the puck. Pass over the stick of Canalupo, dumped in on goal and put behind the net by Dworkowitz. Taken away by Ivers. His pass, though, was stolen by Wallace, the assistant captain. Canalupo with a little bit of speed, drop pass to Drogan. It's Nick Drogan, knifed away from him by Quinones. High flip from Keller, clears the zone. Dumped back in, and Leach Wilson will collect in the corner. Goes long to Ivers. Ivers enters. Tries a drop pass, but fanned. Now finds Duffy, and a shot stopped up by Dworkowitz. Clutched it up in the blocker. Ivers assisted from Keller and Quigley to make it 3-2. We got 8:06 left in the second period of this 3-2 hockey game between Farmingdale and Sacred Heart. Nice play off the wall for Sacred Heart and a clean breakout. They got numbers. 2-on-1 chance. Walking in. Shot stopped up. Blocker save for Andrew Barron. Pushed back in. Delayed offside. Pioneers tag. Now they get back on the forecheck. Dished long. And icing going to be called. Hopkins thought it took a deflection. The linesman clarifying that he did not see it take one, and it will be an icing. One to the half wall, and Hopkins moves it to Smith. Smith looking for Lombardo. Gets tied up, steps on the puck for a second. And now Hopkins off the boards, clears. Lombardo got another whack at it. Crodell racing, trying to get there. Icing going to be called. Linesman said Styles got there just in time. And I think the official just kind of skated by John Crodell and said, it was close. Probably if you were one step closer, it would have been waived. Instead, icing will be called. 7.5 to go. Draws one. Duffy gets it to Lombardo, and Lombardo returns it. Duffy's got some space. Shoots it. Trying to go blocker high. Puts it over the net. Smith just held the zone, but it's right back out. Catching up to the puck is Moliterno, trying to make a move to the net, and it was stolen away. Back with Duffy, who overskates it for a second, stops up, and dumps it in. Cox a little head fake on Lombardo, and then a reversal of the biscuit. It will pop out of the zone. Rodriguez just trying to knock it down. It's lost in the skates, up against the wall right now. D to D pass. Cox takes it off the yellow of the boards and returns it to Desmarais. Skated out, but it's a little bit too far ahead, so Rodriguez hacked at it and sent it back north, allowed Lombardo to put it deep and head off for a change. O'Toole just jumps on the ice. Pioneers very close to being caught with too many men. O'Toole's able to put it deep. Almost gets a pass in the slot, but Alessi, good stick check. And then Alessi blocks the shot. It's loose in the paint. Barron trying to find it. He does. Barron covers it with the glove. Left of Barron. One back to Alessi and puts it into the Pioneers bench. Faceoffs one, and it's stopped up there by Barron. Shot from the point came through by Jackson McLaughlin. Left of Barron again. Trying to go back to the point, and it's jumped by Devine. 2-on-1 has Del Grosso. Timmy Devine across for Del Grosso. Knocks it down. Backhanders stopped up. Rodriguez to Kravitz at the point. He's going to be forced to put it in the corner. Del Grosso trying to stop it behind the net. Rolls up the boards, takes a check. Del Grosso, little self-chip back into the corner. Drogan Eats a check from Devine. Kravitz bumped down by O'Toole, but Del Grosso follows it up and again keeps the puck low. Alessi drops to a knee, gloves it down, holds the zone. Cantalupo clears it past him this time around. Rodriguez all the way back for Kravitz on a hinge pass. Moves it to Devine. Devine trying to skate, Drogan all over him. Finds Kravitz. Looking across. Went right to Wallace. Wallace through neutral ice. Knocked down. Pioneers were looking for a call. Nothing coming. Kravitz looking long. Hits Minio. No, just missed the tape. Minio looking for the break. He gets it out of the corner as the puck was on goal. Sabara does enough to get past O'Donnell and get the puck out, but O'Donnell, a phenomenal recovery, dumps it back in. Stop behind the net with Stiles. Trying to beat two forecheckers. Backhander up those boards. And Leach Wilson has to collect just outside the blue. Throws it back in. Rams got a tag. 4:35 remaining. Fanning on it. Chance. Pass behind Minio from O'Donnell. And now a stretch. Diving. What a stop. Devin Quinones. Incredible defensive play at the blue. Would have been a break for O'Toole. Quinones looking for O'Donnell. Sabara on the backhand, moves it to O'Sullivan. Still in neutral ice. And touched ahead for Stiles, backhanded in. Quinones steps up, plays the body on him. Puck fired long. Again, very close to Pioneers getting called for too many skaters. Long pass comes off Sabara's skate. And Bridgewood's right there. And now a penalty going to be called behind the play on the Farmingdale Rams. Aaron Leach Wilson going to the box. 2 for slashing. Second power play of the night for Sacred Heart. Were unsuccessful first go around. And they'll look to capitalize and tie this game up on their second opportunity. Cleared out right away for Farmingdale. Pioneers will start the breakout. Lombardo forechecks. We'll switch spots with Crodell, and he's F1 now. Comes to the near wall with Walsh. Backhand over to O'Toole. O'Toole cuts the line. Just fought off by Barron. Walsh tries to cycle it off the skate of Kravitz. And Tommy Smith, 200 feet, sends it down. Cox is back to collect with 3:10 to go in the second. Puck moved across to Walsh on the zone entry. Off the boards for Cox. The slap shot's blocked by Crodell and backhanded all the way down by Smith. Crodell off. Lombardo off, Rodriguez and Del Grosso on. Kravitz also jumped off, and Alessi comes on the sheet. So 3 new skaters for Farmingdale. Long pass goes right to Thomas Smith, and he dumps it in. Rodriguez tags, and now Smith will complete that line change for Farmingdale. Strong job from that unit. Into the zone with the puck, Gandolfo. Cycles it low, and Alessi collects. Backhand try, stopped up. Goggin raced over to get there. Shots deflected. Rodriguez collects the rebound, spins onto the forehand, and sends it all the way. 2:10 to go in the middle period, and just 15 left on the penalty to Leach Wilson. Pass to the slot. Cantalupo stopped up by Barron. We get Leach Wilson back in 11 seconds. Draw one back to Kravitz. Looks to move it to Smith. Cantalupo get there first. Low for Subara, behind the net with Drogan. Drogan, cross to Stiles at the point. He shoots off the mask of Barron, and it's swiped away. Ivers speeding ahead now. Has Quigley with him to the right. Stiles on the back check, trying to take it away. Does enough just to force the puck off the stick of Ivers. Keller's there, hits Ivers on a pass on the side of the net. Tries to look for Quigley, who was driving. Hits a skate and covered up by Dworkowitz with $1:31 remaining here in period 2. Reminder, fans, stick with us for the second intermission. Michaela Kochi will have an interview with a player from the Farmingdale State Rams. And promise we've fixed the audio this time around, so it will come through on your end of the screen. So again, we'll have that at intermission. A long pass after the D-zone face-off win. And this is going to be a chance. Barron, way out of the blue paint, will make the stop on Moliterno. I'm going to fire up this replay. Our producer, Sam Musnick, capture it for you guys. And we're going to take a look here at how far out of the net Barron was. That's a great pass on the D-zone draw, backing it off the wall into some space. And see Barron pushing out, way out of the crease to make that stop. Farmingdale take possession off a D-zone draw on their own. Keller's saucer pass was broken up. Back in, it's Gandolfo off the stick of Leach Wilson with his wrist shot. Alessi there to get the puck just out of Quigley's reach. But Frank Alessi still following up, backhands it in. Delayed offside as we enter the final minute of period 2. Pioneers with a little bit of time here to start their breakout. Moved up to Moliterno, who puts it into space for Walsh. Quigley stole the puck away. A long pass, Leach Wilson looking to Ivers, and couldn't get there in time. Icing will be called with 43.5 to go. Right of Andrew Barron for the faceoff. Keller wins it back. Leach Wilson trying to spin away from Drogan, puts it up the boards. Stick was tied up there for Quigley. It's cycled low to Drogan, and it goes right to Ivers, who's going to hit Keller, springing for a breakaway. Chris Keller on the backhand off the noggin of Dworkowitz. Around the wall, Quigley there, solo, scoops it up. Looking to go up to the point for Alessi. Gets to Keller now in the corner. One-time try off angle, and it's cleared out into the bench off of Aiden Foley. 15 seconds remaining. And let's take a look at this chance here for the Rams. Drogan looking into the high slot, and it goes right to Thomas Ivers, and Keller was gone. Receives the pass, just went under the tape a bit, so the only option he had was the backhand shot, and went right off the mask of Dworkowitz. Lombardo looking to win the faceoff to Crodell. Crodell pokes it to the boards with 10 to go. Duffy. Now it's Lombardo around the net to the point for Kravitz. Slap shot stopped up. 2 seconds and 1. And that's going to do it in period number 2. Farmingdale with a 3-2 lead as we head to intermission. A big second period for the Rams, getting goals from Jace Lombardo shorthanded and Thomas Ivers. The goal from Ivers put the Rams back in the lead, first lead for them since the opening goal of the game. So you got to look at the Rams coming off the ice now. And we'll give you the second period recap. Let's see a chance. After the first 4 minutes of the period, Duffy got it low to Crodell. and they were able to work a nice 1-2 give and go, and Duffy's shot got stopped up. But again, great passing there from the Rams. We see another try off the rush here for Farmingdale as that one came through. Nice stop again from Dworkowitz. You see Quigley racing into the zone, hooks a pass across for Ivers. Ivers with a great opportunity. Dworkowitz making the blocker save. Chance out front for Keller off the draw. Couldn't get that one to go. And we get a look at the shorthanded goal here from Jace Lombardo. Lombardo's shorty right here, tied it up, made it a 2-2 hockey game. We get a look here at a save from Andrew Barron. This was a great opportunity. This one he dropped into the splits to stop this one. And we'll take a look, pardon me, take a look at the goal here. That made it a 3-2 game. The slick passing from the Farmingdale State Rams as Thomas Ivers made it 3-2 off the dish from Chris Keller. And now we'll go downstairs. We'll turn it over to Michaela Kochi, who's standing by with Sacred Heart captain Robert Moliterno.
Hi, I'm Kochi here at Norfolk Center for another Farmingdale game day. I'm here with Sacred Heart University player Rob Moliterno. So sorry. Tell me, you've played 2 periods already. Just tell me a little bit about that entry on the bench and just what you guys are doing.
Yeah, trying to keep around high on count one, just trying to move fast, get lots of deep shots on that. So yeah, trying to keep it simple.
All right, again, you got one more period, 1 minute. Talk me through your mindset.
Trying to stick with the same thing. Not really trying to make everything complicated. Again, shots on, pucks deep, hanging bodies, and communicating. That's really it.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm here at Norfolk Center for another Farmingdale game day. Go Rams.
Great interview from Michaela Kochi with, again, Sacred Heart University Pioneers captain Robert Moliterno. 3-2 the score. Farmingdale up over Sacred Heart after 40 minutes of play, looking to sweep the weekend here at the Northwell Health Ice Center. Travis Quigley here on the call, Frank Botetto, our cameraman, and Sam Musnick, our producer this evening. Want to thank you all so much for joining us here. Rin Shimano, as always, joining us from Japan, rooting on his Rams. Really appreciate it, Rin, as always. And we got Anakin's Legion in the chat, rooting on Sacred Heart tonight. Want to thank you for joining us here on the LI Sports Network. So Zamboni on now. We'll take a quick pause, and we'll return in just a little bit with the third period of play. Rams coming back onto the ice now for the third period of play. (3-2) the game. Farmingdale up over Sacred Heart. And the Rams will look to hold on, sweep the weekend, and carry a 6-game winning streak into the home and home with Drexel next week. Travis Quigley here on the call, Sam Musnick, our producer, Frank Botetto on the camera. Last year's captain, Johnny McCann, always gracious, comes over, says hello. Always phenomenal seeing him here in the building as he's here rooting on his Rams. (20 minutes up on the clock, 3-2, Farmingdale over Sacred Heart. Third period about to start. Walsh and Keller line up for the draw. And here we go. Keller wins it clean back. Kravitz off the boards to Alessi. And Frank Alessi starts the break. Hits Keller. Keller racing through the middle, trying to get it across to Ivers. Pass was broken up. Walsh drives into the zone. Takes a shot that's fought off by Andrew Barron. Styles fires, stick save Barron. Alessi with a poke. Quigley trying to clear, gets pinched up against the boards, held in the zone, and the shot from Matt Goggin is stopped up and covered by Barron. I want to thank you all at home for joining us here tonight on the LI Sports Network. Make sure you follow us on social media. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Every Farmingdale M2 home game right here on LISM. We've got Farmingdale M3 hockey. All the ACHA hockey you're looking for is that one deflected wide off the skate of Cantalupo. Great chance there. Crodell swoops down, trying to clear the zone now. Kept in. Cantalupo. Backdoor to Drogan off the outside of the net. O'Toole settles down. We get a whistle as the net came off. Drogan wins the draw to Cantalupo on the half boards. Duffy there, clears. Glove down at the red by DeMare. Drogan couldn't get it deep, and now Duffy wheels. Tim Duffy shoots over the net. Lombardo in the corner. Comes together with DeMare, takes the puck, kicks it ahead, and Sacred Heart will clear. O'Toole. Left for Drogan, who shoots. Put behind the net by Barron. DeMare there to hold the line. Cantalupo eats a check from Crodell. Quinones there. O'Toole walks off the boards, out to the slot. Nobody home. Lombardo wheels out and hits Tim Duffy with a pass. Duffy driving. Lombardo taking it to the net. Backhand goes through the legs of Jace Lombardo, who's on hat trick watch here tonight. After scoring 2 goals, one in the first, a shorty in the second. O'Donnell took a hack, lost the puck, and O'Toole gains the red, throws it deep. Smith, a great heads-up pass to Joe Minio. Minio was stopped up at the blue and took a check. Pioneers go the other way. Subara misses and took a big crunch from O'Donnell. He's very slow to get up. Now gets back up to his knees, set the pop to his feet. And O'Donnell's going to get called for a penalty here, it looks like. And he goes right to the box, has some words with Wallace as well. 2 for boarding on O'Donnell. And now a power play for Sacred Heart, their third of the game. right of Barron as the power play begins, and Rodriguez wins the faceoff. Backhanded around the wall, Del Grosso clearing attempt, stopped up by Cox. Now Alessi will try. Again, Cox will glove it down. Alessi will look to go out the other side. A lot more space that way. And he cuts the net and can absolutely wheel. Frank Alessi just shovels one on goal. Caught in the glove and dropped out by Dworkowitz. Alex Walsh through the middle of the ice. Gets on the left-hand side, banks one off the boards, all the way back to the point. It comes out of the zone. Del Grosso came together with Cox. Rodriguez skates it into the zone, drops it all the way back to Smith with plenty of space. Throws it down, came off the glove of Walsh. So Stiles now. Stiles takes a check. Smith takes the puck and slaps it down the ice. Minute left on the penalty to O'Donnell. Demare breaks it out. Moves it to Stiles, who enters the offensive zone. Off the boards, trying to get it to Drogan. Leach Wilson breaks it up, and now Crodell is going to wheel. John Crodell with Lombardo driving the net. Crodell will shoot, but put it wide. Lombardo collects it, gets it back to Crodell, and it's hooked all the way back for Leach Wilson, who rips it 200 feet down the ice. Dworkowitz has to come out to play it. Lombardo checks Demare against the glass. Deflected into the Farmingdale zone, and Smith again rips it down the sheet. Lombardo using the stick as a ramp, puts it the rest of the way. O'Donnell set to return. Stiles enters the zone. It's 5-on-5 again. A backhand shot put into the corner by Barron. Drogan looks to the slot. Alessi's right there with the stick down. He'll skate it out, gets it to Quigley, and Quigley's in. Quigley 3-on-2 over to Ivers. Ivers to Alessi, fans on it, still in the skates, and he ends up sliding into the net, knocking it off. And we'll get a whistle, 15:25 to play in the third. Nice passing there between Quigley, Ivers, and Alessi. The defenseman joining the rush, trying to capitalize and tally a marker for the Rams. One back to Alessi. Goes to touch it over to Kravitz, but he just went right down. Not sure if he caught an edge, hit a divot. Not sure what it was, but Rams were able to recover. Long pass. Keller knocks it down, and Kravitz gets the puck right back. Moved it to the blue line where it's put into the Pioneers zone. Quigley on the forecheck. Got a piece of it with the stick. Now it's held by Kravitz. Backhand low. Ivers knocks it away from McLaughlin. Quigley into the corner to Ivers. Ivers back to the slot. And couldn't get to Quigley. Just too much traffic there. Rushed out of the zone by Sirabara. Out and offside. Face off in front of the Rams bench. And Bridgewood wins it across to Minio. Minio in the corner now. He's knocked to the ice. Big hit thrown there, but Bridgewood right there to collect. Trying to hook it back to O'Donnell. Minio still helping behind the cage. Sent up the boards. Now a long stretch pass. Goes to Venturi. Venturi knocked down by Leach Wilson. O'Donnell couldn't clear. Out in the corner, Venturi, pinned by Quinones. Pops to the high slot, one-time try, big save from Barron. On Demare. Farmingdale just trying to clear, sent down the ice by Leach Wilson, and it'll be an icing called. Big time stop there from Andrew Barron. .53 to go here in regulation. Rams with a one goal lead. They went up 1-0. Jace Lombardo. James O'Toole in the first period scored 2 consecutive shorthanded goals on 2 separate penalties. Sacred Heart had a 2-1 lead after the first. Try there, goes right onto the tape of Quinones, who's going to wheel out. Moves it ahead to Bridgewood, who deflects it in. Lombardo answered with a shorthanded goal in the second period, and then Thomas Ivers in the second as well. Gave Farmingdale the lead 3-2, and that is how we have stood. Smith, nice job, knocking it down and hits Lombardo on the tape. What a move! Lombardo is denied. I think we would have been seeing that one all over social media if he completed that one for the hat trick. What a beauty that could have been for Jace Lombardo. Just shot it over. Silky mitts from 44. Back to Lombardo from Duffy. That one just got a piece of it, was Crodell, went over the net. Played back over to Lombardo, skate to stick, swats it low to Duffy. Now to the point for Smith. He takes a blast, goes to Crodell, poking at it, covered up, and we get a whistle. So just got to get some time added back onto the clock here. Face-off on the spectator side. Rodriguez wins it to the wall for Devine. And it's pushed back by Cantalupo for Sacred Heart. Comes through the middle of the ice. It's going to be a chance. And Del Grosso's on a breakaway. Stopped up by Dworkowicz. Great feed right up the middle of the ice. And Del Grosso just getting there in the nick of time, escapes the diving poke check and got the breakaway chance, but Dworkowicz standing tall. Dished over to Drogan. Drogan wide with some speed off the outside of the net. Comes up top to the point. Demare's shot, blocker save. 12 minutes to go. Kick save again for Barron. Alessi possessing the puck. And he's just going to hold it for a moment, puts it high off the glass and out of the zone. Del Grosso sweeping over, 2-on-1, has Devine. Del Grosso off the skate of Cox, blocking the pass. Stays in the zone off Rodriguez. Now the Pioneers clear. Del Grosso right back in off the glove of Cox. He tried to catch it, has to shake that one off a little bit. Keller F1 evades him, now throws a pass long. It'll be a foot race between Quinones and O'Toole. It pops right back out in front. Icing was waved, and now Leach Wilson. Self-chip continues to buzz up the ice. Quigley's his middle lane drive. Leach Wilson trying to split through. It was poke checked away. Drogan clears. Quinones racing over, settles it down. He sees a lane for himself to skate. Gains the red, dumps it in. Comes right back to him in his own blue. Moves it to Leach Wilson. Up the boards. Quigley lost it in the skate. And it's collected by O'Sullivan, who enters the zone. His slap shot broken up by Leach Wilson. Quinones for Quigley. Quigley going to take his time. Now hits Ivers, who's cutting across the blue line. He'll go right back to Quigley. Poked away by O'Sullivan. And he gets sandwiched by Quigley and Keller. Smith off the bench. Takes the puck into the zone, rims it around to the weak side. Arm up, penalty coming. Quigley low to Ivers. Rams gonna go on the power play after it gets touched up. And Thomas Smith able to draw the penalty there. Phenomenal job from the Rams defenseman, and he's getting a couple taps as he goes back to the bench. Drawing a cross-checking call on Luke O'Sullivan. Special shout out to Gabe Curry in the building tonight. As always, operating the social media channels for us here at the LI Sports Network. That one shot out of play, right off the face-off win from Styles. Face-offs one to Leach Wilson. He goes across to Crodell. What a stop from Dworkowitz. Just got a piece of it with the stick. Pioneers clear, and it's taken away from Leach Wilson by Styles. Styles enters, he fires, fought off, but unable to put it right back at the net was Moliterno, and it would have been a grade A chance. O'Donnell takes it away. Drop pass to Duffy. He'll fire, blocked by Goggin, and goes out of play. .9:40 to go in the period, minute 20 left. On the cross-checking penalty to Luke O'Sullivan. Tied up in the circle. Both sides trying to dig it out. It's Bridgewood. What a move! Bridgewood scores! Highlight reel goal. Dylan Bridgewood on the power play. 4-2 for the Rams. Bridgewood digging it out of the skates. A silky toe drag, and he's all alone. Forehand, backhand, upstairs. 2-goal lead for Farmingdale. Icing going to be called after Alessi put that one off the glass all the way down. One back to the point. That try blocked by Keller. Comes over to Ivers. He tries to go out through the middle, and nobody was there as Quigley was cutting across. Quigley comes in, plays the body, trying to win the puck. Still tied up against the boards with Cantalupo. Now it's Drogan who enters. Drop pass at the point. Shot is gloved by Andrew Barron. Five on five once again as the Pioneers go to work. Intercepted by Rodriguez and puts it off the boards. And Devine is going to get there. Devine's pass just in front of Del Grosso. This line's been buzzing here tonight. Del Grosso curls it back low. Took a hit from Goggin. Played around, and Leach Wilson holds the line. Timmy Devine out of the corner. Couldn't settle the rolling puck. Now Leach Wilson again. Knocked away. Devine playing the body on Goggin. Pioneers still trying to break things out. Jace Lombardo off the bench just holds it in. Skating the puck out is Cantalupo, trying to split through two. Crodell steals it. In the skates of Devine. Slides it over to Lombardo, but offside going to be called on the Rams. 7:57 to go in regulation. 2-goal lead for Farmingdale. Looking to sweep the weekend. Have a 6-game win streak here early in the season. The squad made a run all the way to the AAU National Championship last year. Fell to the University of Tampa. Made the move to the ACHA M2 this season. And they want to get back to that national championship game. Looking to create a lot of early momentum in this 25-26 campaign. Duffy driving in, looking to cut middle, blew a tire. Hopkins with the shot, hits off Duffy. Crodell in front, just missed the cage. Hopkins holds the zone. Duffy trying to go across the seam. He's able to get back across and keep it in. His shot gets blocked. Backhand try, Crodell, and the save was made. Lombardo was trying to tuck the rebound in, but it skipped his stick. Duffy back to the point. Smith D to D for Hopkins. And the net came off. Pioneers win it. That was Walsh who pulled it back. Rimmed around to Moliterno. Moliterno takes a couple of checks from Minio and O'Donnell. Now Bridgewood out front to O'Donnell. Gets a piece of it. Still trying to battle for it. O'Donnell digs it out of his own skates and cycles it deep. Pioneers clear. And this one's going to go all the way to be an icing. Another O-zone draw for Farmingdale coming. Another face-off win for Walsh in the D zone. Pioneers clear, but Minio right there to collect again for the Rams. Pass to O'Donnell, dumps it in. Cleared back out by Sacred Heart. It's put back into their zone, and they have to regroup. Trying to break out again. Minio couldn't poke it back to the point. Out of the zone comes DeCarlo. DeCarlo across, Delnicus. Oh, pardon me, that was O'Sullivan, actually, who controlled the pass but lost his edge. Long pass, icing potentially coming here. No, it gets waved off. Alessi reverses it. Leach Wilson, one more reversal. Alessi ducks under a check and is pinned up against the wall. Keller there to help out. Back at the point. Steered aside by Barron. Alessi to Ivers. And Ivers gets it out of the zone. Immediately broken up and dumped back in. Gloved by Barron and dropped for Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson to Ivers, who was over the red line, and puts it deep. Rams on the forecheck now. Quigley into the corner for Ivers. Trying to go out front to Keller. Stiles takes the puck, cuts the net, and wheels out. Stiles in the corner. Takes a bump from Joe Quigley. Quigley trying to clear. Just held in at the line by O'Toole. Leach Wilson on the second try for the Rams. He does get it out. And Ivers races after the puck. Collects it, but he's solo right now. waiting for some help as Farmingdale making a change. Backhand pass to Rodriguez. He scores! Anthony Rodriguez, top cheddar, 5-2 Rams. What an incredible pass from Thomas Ivers, and Rodriguez, no stick handle, rips it upstairs on Dworkowitz, and it's a 3-goal lead for the Farmingdale State College Rams, who are absolutely rolling. They win the draw. Leach Wilson will backhand it deep. Rodriguez all over it on the forecheck. Quinones on the keep-in. Shot got blocked. Another clearing try. Quinones again. That got through. Went off the back wall. Rodriguez from Ivers to make it a 5-2 hockey game. A beautiful backhand saucer pass. Del Grosso on a turnover. Comes to Devine. He scores! Timmy Devine makes it 6-2 Rams. Off the turnover, Del Grosso collects on the backhand, gets it forehand. He fanned on the shot, and it popped right over to Devine, who takes the 1T and puts it home. Pioneers call a timeout. Dworkowitz not happy, just slammed his mask against the post. Farmingdale, 2 quick goals and now lead by 4 with 4:11 to play here in this hockey game. They've had a couple of big-time saves from Andrew Barron here tonight. And they have scored the last 5 goals. 2 in the second, and they've had the last 3 all here in the third. Lombardo with 2, Ivers with a goal, Bridgewood on the power play here in the third, Rodriguez, and now Timmy Devine jumping in on the scoring. Del Grosso and Rodriguez picking up assists on the play. Hopkins whacks it back ahead. Tarashansky was cutting over. Played off the wall for Lombardo. It's broken up and dumped in by Moliterno. Barron out of the net, stops it up for Hopkins, who dishes to Duffy. Tim Duffy off the boards and hits Lombardo. It's just behind him. Moliterno enters. Moliterno knocked down by Duffy. And Tim Duffy will skate it out. 3-on-2. Hits Crodell driving wide. Crodell, drop pass. Lombardo, it's blocked. Long stretch pass out of the reach of O'Toole. There's a penalty coming up behind the play. And Lombardo going to go to the box. Slashing call on Jace Lombardo. 3:07 left in this one. And the Pioneers will go back on the power play. Chipped in. And it goes up to the point as the Pioneers get set on the power play. Goes through the seam, broken up, and then comes right back through the seam for Goggin. Settles a bouncing puck, center point. Shot gets blocked. Frank Alessi in the way there. Now Goggin with it. Glove save Barron. Rebound still loose. Another try. Barron with another save. O'Toole with a second hack. The Rams did not like that. And now we got a dog pile beneath the goal line right now. Drogan pushing and shoving. He's locked up right now, it looks like, with Huber. The Drogan yard saled his own equipment. He and Huber will go to the box. O'Toole's going to the box, it looks like. So a couple guys going to the box here for Sacred Heart, a couple guys going to the box for Farmingdale. Drogan really unhappy, banging on the boards right now. So the officials are congregating now. We'll have to see what all these penalties are going to shake out to be. Frank Alessi now being pulled off the bench into the box. So a reminder, Lombardo was already in there. Sacred Heart on the power play for another minute and 31 seconds. We'll see what happens. There's 2 Pioneers in the box, 2 Rams in the box. My guess is everything will just be coincidental and wash out. But we'll see what the officials come up with. There's just 2:38 remaining in this hockey game. And Drogan's getting the gate here. He's being escorted to the locker room now. So Drogan goes to the room. Huber heading off as well. He's getting the gate here. So Huber and Drogan both going to hit the showers a little early. O'Toole still in the box for Sacred Heart, as is Frank Alessi. And, of course, Lombardo's still there as well. So 2 minutes going up for Alessi here. Looks like it's going to still be a power play for the Sacred Heart Pioneers, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play. It will start outside. So 5-on-3 power play for Sacred Heart here. And they'll win the faceoff, look to get into the zone, down by 4 with 2.5 minutes remaining. Styles enters. His pass is blocked by Kravitz. Moves it to Moliterno. Moliterno in the corner. Kravitz, tight defense being played. And Jacob Kravitz clears the zone. Phenomenal job from the veteran defenseman there from Smithtown, New York. Walsh enters. Leach Wilson pinches him off. It's in behind the net of Barron. Lombardo back in 55 seconds. Pioneers working it. That shot goes through off the back wall. That blocked by Jacob Kravitz. Sacrificing the body, saving a goal right there. We got to take another look at this one. Shot came off the backboards and kicked perfectly to Moliterno, who's sitting there. And Kravitz sliding across, blocking the shot. Excellent work from the Rams D-man. Comes back to the point now. Demare to the goal line. Brown back for Demare. D to D. Cox shoots. It's stopped up in front. Still loose. Kicked away by Leach Wilson. Back with Demare. Another save, Barron. He takes the whistle with 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3 power play. 49 seconds left on the penalty to Frank Alessi. Poked up in the air by Smith, and here goes Crodell, 5-on-3 shorthanded. He don't care. He's going to rush it ahead on the power kill, drives the net, crashes into Dworkowitz, and the Pioneers are going berserk right now. Dworkowitz with a couple blockers to Crodell. He is not happy. Quinones is locked up behind the net with Demare. Officials quickly getting over there to separate those two. Crodell's like, look, man, I'm just trying to make a hockey play. Demare's being skated right off the ice. Pardon me, Dworkowitz right off the ice. Dworkowitz gone, and now Demare gone as well. Quinones being ejected. So the backup goalie for Sacred Heart, Jacob Rotwitt, is going to have to go in for the last minute and 15 seconds of this game. There was not an initial penalty called on Crodell. Looked from up top here that everything that was called came after the whistle. So again, Quinones has already been shown the door for Farmingdale. Being shown the door for Sacred Heart was Demare and the goaltender Dworkowitz. So Rotwitt is in the blue paint getting a stretch right now. Again, he'll play the last minute and 15 of this game. More penalties to be sorted here. And I think we're going to have to circle a date on the calendar for when these two teams meet again, as tensions have certainly boiled over here in this third period. And I think it's safe to say that a bit of a rivalry is being developed between the Rams and the Pioneers. They've battled tight games throughout the years, but certainly I think this is the most elevated emotionally I've seen either side in the games that I've been able to call and witness between these two teams. You definitely like to see the emotion, you like to see the passion, but you don't like to see when we cross that line. And you never want to see guys getting ejected. We want everybody who dresses to be able to play the entire 60 minutes of the game. So 5-minute major up on the board right now going to the goalie Dworkowitz. So it'll be 4-on-3 it looks like. For 8 seconds, Lombardo will return. It'll be a brief 4-on-4, and then the remainder of the game will be played out, Farmingdale having a power play. All right, ready to go again. Crodell lines up for a face-off with Walsh. Walsh gets it to the boards, and Gandolfo knocked down by Leach Wilson. Rams bench erupts. Lombardo out of the box. Tried to get hit with a pass, but Stiles jumps it. And we're 4-on-4 for the next 20 seconds. Crodell gloves it down, moves it to Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson fires long, looking at Crodell. Crodell racing after it, beats out the icing. Crodell cycles, keeps it deep. Final minute, 45 seconds exactly to go. And Alessi comes out of the box. Farmingdale now have a power play for the remainder of this hockey game. Dump down the ice. Rodriguez out there for the Rams and helps take it away. Leach Wilson puts it down the sheet. 25 remaining. Picked up by Tarashansky. Takes it around the net. Moves it over to Walsh. Walsh going to skate with it. And Lombardo angles across, plays the body on him. Backhanded back down for Duffy. Duffy looking to make the move. He's knocked off the puck, and he's going to get called for a penalty in the process. Rams aren't even going to bother touching it. Just going to let time expire, and Farmingdale are going to sweep the weekend. 12-3 last night over Montclair State. And a big-time 6-2 win tonight over the Sacred Heart Pioneers. 5 straight goals. They were down 2-1 after the opening 20 minutes. And Farmingdale turned it around after coming back out for the second period and showed the depth and the offensive firepower that they possess. 6-2. They take down the Sacred Heart Pioneers, and as I mentioned, definitely going to want to keep our eye out for December 7th when these two teams play again. It should be another tight, contested matchup between two teams that want to absolutely make a push here in the Northeast region of the ACHA M2. Big win for Farmingdale. Sacred Heart, they have another game this weekend, so you Pioneers fans, another try this weekend. Tomorrow night, a home game for Sacred Heart, 8:15 against Providence College. Just want to thank all you Pioneer fans for joining us here tonight on the LI Sports Network. Rams, we're back with you next Friday night. Drexel University making the road trip down. It's going to be a home and home between the Rams and Drexel. First game Friday night here, live on the LI Sports Network. And then Saturday, the Rams make the trip to Pennsylvania for the game at the Class of 1923 Arena. So once again, 6-2. The final score, Farmingdale picking up the win. 2 goals from Jace Lombardo, one of them coming shorthanded. continuing the success that he had last night. He was the player of the game last night. And again, continued that dominant success here this evening. Thomas Ivers picking up a goal. That line of Ivers, Keller, and Quigley, those three combined for 20 points on the weekend over just 2 games. They were sensational against Montclair and here again against Sacred Heart. And then here in the third period, Bridgewood on the power play. A big-time power play goal that Farmingdale certainly needed because they had a very tough time getting their power play going through the first really half of the game. Anthony Rodriguez with a top-shelf snipe on a beautiful saucer pass from Thomas Ivers. And barely even 35 seconds after that, it was Timmy Devine who buried the one-time goal on the pass from Gavin Del Grasso, and that made it a 6-2 game, and that is how things stood for the Farmingdale Rams. And again, a big-time win over a Northeast region rival. So stay tuned with us here as we will have a post-game interview. So just give us a moment here. We're going to snag our Farmingdale Ram player of the game and get our post-game look and conversation with Michaela Kochi. So again, just stick with us momentarily here, and we will turn it over to Michaela briefly. Apologize, folks. Unfortunately, we're not able to grab a Ram for the post-game interview, as I think the Farmingdale Rams are just excited to sweep the weekend, and they're ready to enjoy the rest of their Saturday night and their Sunday football before preparing for Drexel next weekend, as I mentioned. So again, the final score 6-2. Farmingdale picking up the victory over Sacred Heart University. Back at it here at Northwell next weekend against Drexel University. We'll be here live, taking you through all the action on the LI Sports Network. On behalf of our crew here tonight, Gabe Takuri, our cameraman, Frank Botetto, our producer, Sam Musnick, I'm Travis Quigley. Hope you all have a great rest of the night. And as always, we'll see you next time right here on the LI Sports Network.